Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video based on solving the PYQs, particularly for paper 1, which would be helpful to one who is going to be appearing in the next attempt. So without further ado, let's move to the question paper. Today in this video, we are going to do it with the paper of mass communication and journalism, and it was held on June 2025. So yes, let me share my screen so that you can get the idea. And we'll solve the question. We'll follow the same pattern of the last video in which we are going to solve the paper, 35 questions. So keeping aside the questions from the mathematical aptitude, DI and reading comprehension, because that you can do by the practice. So yeah, without further ado, let's move to the paper. And we are moving to the question number 6 of the paper. And that is, the question is, as per the book The Five C's of Cinematography by Joseph V. Maselli, arrange the following C's in order to get chapter given in the books, starting from chapter 1 to chapter 5. So this is again from the communication. This question is coming from that. And it is quite surprised because this paper is of mass communication. So that's why this is going to be there. So let's see the questions. The options: camera angles, composition, close-up, cutting, and continuity. So if you look at the option, then the last would be the composition. Yes, so B would be the last. In that case, we'll start with camera angle, then move to the continuity, then cutting, then close up, and at last the composition. So option A is the right one. Moving to the next question. www.ncerd.nic.in in the following web address is called blank. Now this we are aware before it puts HTTP, that is the web address, but this particularly the phrase here given is known as the domain name. So it is domain name. This question is from ICT. Moving to the next question. Blank is assessment which may also be seen as informal. Let's see the options. This is from the teaching aptitude. Summative assessment, formative assessment, subjective review assessment, and observation assessment. Now, there is possibility of two answers because formative assessment is something which is happens with the period of time and not at the end of the course. So that is also part of that called as informal one. And of course, observation of the educator, that is also assessment, which is informal one. So there is possibility of two answers, and in answer key also the two answers has been right. So 2 and 4. Next question we have is rearrange the sequence to write a lesson plan. Again from teaching aptitude, and let's see the options: lesson opening, pre-planning, lesson layout, closure of the lesson, and extended practice. So of course it starts with the pre-planning. So whatever, and here is the direct answer, and that is B. We do the pre-planning, then we do the lesson opening, and then we move to the lesson layout, followed by extended practice, and at the end, closure of the lesson. So this is how it is arranged. Next question in line is, which of the following statements are logically equivalent? All poems are artwork, no non-poems are non-artwork, some poems are artwork, and all non-artworks are non-poems. Now, this is a question, of course, from logical reasoning. But there is one problematic reason, because when we are talking about logically equivalent statements, it should be having same connotative meaning. However, in this options, there are a problem, and that is there is converse relationship between these two, which is all poems are artwork and all non-artworks are non-poems. It is a conversation. Otherwise, all and all, which are not logically equivalent to one. So the option answer is D, A, and D. Moving to the next question, and again from the UGC night surprise that they are quite into the movies. We have seen in last video as well that they are asking at least one question per movie, and similar happened with here as well. So here we have list 1, which is of the directors, and list 2, which is of the films. So I was also not aware about the movies and have done this from the answer key, and that is Orson Welles, and he has written The Citizen Kane. So AIV, okay. Then John Ford has written Stagecoach. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Sorry, and that is not the one. The Citizen Kane is written by none other than our Orson Welles. Let's cross check it so that we are not mistaken. 4903, and the answer is, because I was going right, I guess. Citizen Kane. So 2 is the answer. John Ford has written Stagecoach. Charlie Chaplin has written City Lights, which is very famous one. I have googled it and I'll get the idea. And Alfred Hitchcock, and he has written Rear Window. So these 4 movies are connected with that. This is again from communication. Moving to the next, and here we have the teaching aptitude, types of knowledge and assessment literacy. So the purpose of assessment, what to access, assessment strategies, interpretation, and action taking. And on the other side, we have assessment literacy. So we'll go one by one with the statements. An educator assess student learning in content-specific knowledge. Now this is called assessment strategy. So it is an assessment strategy. C connected with I. Educators' intention with assessment data, what they want to do, action taking. That relates to educators' purpose. Now purpose. Here is a keyword through which we can connect it. And in that case, A is the answer. A3, B, IV, what to assess, and that is associated with purpose of assessment, and deep rooted in the values of principle. And then D, we have educators' intention with the data, whatever educator got throughout the learning process. Next question is coming from the communication. If there is a fault in the mechanical or electrical channel, the free flow of the communication will be obstructed. This obstruction is taking place at what level? Now we are aware about the communication process. And if the channel is having the barrier fault, in that case, it is going to be the fault at the transmission level, because it is going to affect the very message, the area of the transmission. And that's why the answer is A. Moving to the next, which is mathematical aptitude, and that's why we are skipping it. And this is a very direct question. And this you have to remember because it is in factual data. Lord Macaulay had written the famous minutes called Macaulay's Minute, and it was in 1835. Quite factual, non-understanding one. From logical reasoning, and you can solve it by yourself. Okay, next question is, which of the following are true about pure rainwater? So it is naturally acidic, it is naturally basic, it is neutral, it is pH value is 7, it is called an acid rain when pH comes less than 5.6. So the right answer is A and C, because normally the rainwater is acidic, and when it has the acidic pH value less than 5.6, it turns out to be the acid rain, which causes many problems in the nature, and it affects the very agriculture of the earth as well. Moving to the next question, what a teacher uses lecture method? When a teacher uses lecture method, then now this lecture method is purely a traditional method of teaching something. So we have to look it in the context of that. First, it provides new information to the student. Yes, in the lecture method there is new information given. It provides original research to the student which are generally not found in the textbook. Yes, it's also true that educator on their level lecture method, they are doing their own research and providing the information. Third, it can dramatize important concepts and share personal insights as well. Yes, this is also true because educate to here American that we eliminated, and it deals with the critical analysis and problem solving. So here this is catch here, because in the lecture method students are passive learners, so they are getting critical insight but they are not able to practice it, and that's why the right answer is A, B and C. Moving to the next one, which policy is committed in the following statement? God exists since it was written in the scripture. Since the scripture are the words of God, whatever is written in them is true. Now, this is again from logical reasoning, and fallacies are the most favorite of NTA. So we have to be ready with the fallacy. And this is called, this fallacy is begging the question, because here they are trying to prove God exists, that word itself. And that's why the argument itself is going to be met in that sentence as well. So this is begging the question. Moving to the next one, identify the stages which may or from part of research proposal outline. Okay, so we have to keep in context research proposal and data fabrication. First option itself is the problematic, because fabrication we are not going to do. So A is not going to be there, and other three options are A, and that's why earlier studies is also there, specifying objectives is also there, and studying problem, what we call hypothesis, is also there in the proposal. Moving to the next, in the context of AI-NRF may consider three-pronged approach. These are, now this, what is AI-NRF? Because I myself was not aware about that, and then I googled it and I got the idea that AI-NRF is actually the National Retail Federation, which is working with how we can use artificial intelligence and for what extent is there and what are the risks associated with that. So all these are part of it, and among that, what it says. Let's read the option. Advancing international research efforts to address global challenges. Yes, they are working with AI and they are addressing this. Developing and deploying application. No, they are not doing this. Efforts to address global challenges through research. Yes, the A option is also telling this. Advancing core AI research. So AI is also there. So AI is going to be there. And enhancing the knowledge regarding AI and RF. So they are themselves is not promoting. So that's why that is not the option there. So A, C, and D. So option 3 is the answer in this. Moving to the next question, basic principle of integrative learning map is, now this is talking about how we can map the learning, and in that the option is the curriculum development, bridging programs, and then doing the assessment, and that is called, this three process connectively called the integrative learning map, because from the curriculum we provide programs and then we assess the program. So this is how the cycle of the learning map is completed. Moving to the next question, the scale which not only measure the intensity of earthquake but also impact on people is known as, normally we mistaken it with the Richter scale, but Richter scale only maps the intensity of the earthquake, but here modified Mercalli scale. The second one is talking about how affect the people, what kind of buildings are flown, and what is the actual photo or actual footage of the time after the earthquake that is got measured by that. Moving to the next one, which of the following is the correct sequence of largest to smallest units of memory? Now this is also catch because there are some words which I myself heard for the first time, so that's why you can also get the idea. So of course second is the largest one, we have to go to largest to smallest, so E is always there, you can see that. Then we go to milli, second milli, and then micro then we have nano, and the pico is actually the last or smallest unit of memory, so B is the last. So let's put it in that one. A is option 3 is answer, followed by microsecond, then nanosecond, and then picosecond. This is a question from ICT, and memory questions are keep on appearing. Next question from teaching aptitude. The term andragogy it refers to adult learning theory, and childhood learning theory is pedagogy. So that's two difference between this. Moving to the next question, and this is from again research aptitude, and you have to be here. You have to apply some mathematics in it, so you can learn it. Again, mathematical question. Moving to the next. Okay, arrange the following program in order of incorporation. Now this is a very new question I came across after solving lots of higher education questions. So let's solve this. Achieving 100% literacy, National Literacy Mission, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, NAEP, and Padhna Likhna Abhiyan. So the right answer here is this two. So it starts with National Adult Education Program, which started in 1978, and with this, that is the beginning of how the education program is formed. Moving to the National Literacy Mission, which came after exactly 10 years of that, and that is National Literacy Mission. Next on that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, and then came the Achieving 100% Literacy, and this program launched 2020. And its agenda is to complete it in 2030. 100% literacy is the achieving agenda of this program. And then we have Padhna Likhna Abhiyan, and it is very recent one, 2022. So that's how it is arranged. So there is a keywords, and we have to connect ordering them in chronological order. Moving to the next one. Which of the following are true about moderator used in nuclear reactors? So nuclear reactors, that is using of moderator, and it is for many purpose. And two of them here is mentioned. That moderators slow down neutrons to sustain the chain reaction. That is purely quite right, because it helps. That's why it is known as a moderator. It itself symbolizes that. Moderate stops the neutrons to control the chain reaction. So no, it's not doing that. It would not stop, but it rather the balance it. Then without moderator, chain reaction would stop. An example of moderator is graphite rod. So here the right answer is A and C, and that is the option number A. Moving to the next question, and that was from mathematical aptitude. Okay, let's see. The next question is from again logical reasoning. Arrange the following in order of increasing intention. Now here I want to clarify one thing. There is quite confusing regarding intention, which is connected with synonym of connotation. And if it has written increasing denotation, then we have to put it from general to particular. But here they have asked connotation, and that's why we have to first choose what is most wider area, and then we will move to the specific one. So here D, literary work, followed by prose, followed by story and short story, because it is connotation. If they ask increasing denotation, then we will do exactly the reverse of it. So don't confuse this in the exam. Moving to the next, what among the following are functions of mass media? Okay, so infrastructure building. So no, mass media is not doing infrastructure building, and that means it automatically cuts the option A, heavy. Okay, then entertainment. Yes, mass media is providing entertainment. Information. Yes. Tax collection. No, because tax collection is not happening with mass media. And advertising. Yes. So B, C, and E is the option, and that is the option number 3. Moving to the next question, and this is also I found a very interesting question, and this is a first question I have seen so far in the paper one about books and their authors. Okay, so we have research methodology, a step-by-step guide for beginners. It has written by Ranjit Kumar. Then we have mass media research and introduction, written by Roger D. Wimmer and Joseph Dominic. Then we have business research method, which is written by H.K. Danke and Shruti Devan. So these all are factual information, and there is no memorizing trick. You have to remember it. You have to just cram it. That is the only possible way for it. Moving to the next question. Which of the following statements are true? Okay, and it is about ICT and full duplex, half duplex, simplex. These are the again confusing statements. So we'll understand one by one. First is full duplex communication is bidirectional. So this is very right one because it is bidirectional. That means from one point there is getting the information, from the other end also we are getting the information. Both ends are providing information bidirectional. Both. Then FM radio is an example of simplex communication. This is also true because FM radio is just providing the information. There is nothing going back. For example, in phone call, it is duplex because if one is talking, so one person is talking, on the other hand, other is giving the answer at the same time. So it is not simplex. It is bidirectional. But FM radio is simplex. Then question C, statement C, walkie-talkie is an example. Yes, it is duplex, but it is half duplex. Half duplex means and after completion of that message, they can one time. So it is half duplex walkie-talkie. Then half duplex communication, they cannot send at the same time. If one is sending, that should be example of half duplex communication. Then it is also false. So we have the answer in, and that is for that they can neither be true together nor can there be false. Syllogism, which is E A E I O, and then the statements related to this and this are they with both cannot be true together and not false together at the same time. So if one is true, then other should must be false, and one is false, then other must be true. Vice versa is there. So it happens in both the ways. So if one is true, then other should must be false, and one is false, then other must be true. Vice versa is there. So it happens in both the ways. So if you have computer peripheral and some computer, some printer this and C, that is the answer in B are next. The favorite, and we are aware that UGC has been founded in 1956, NTA has founded in 2017, NCRT in 1961, and NCTE in 1995. In that case, the answer is 3. The teacher is teaching in the class of student. This can be best example of face-to-face communication. Quite right. Then we have this very factual one, and I would say this is your guesswork. You have to do because you can't remember this all the scientific names and then chemical compositions of it, and then at that time you might get right because you have lots of questions pending on the behind side as well, working on that, and it is said that answer is B. So you have to remember just dibromochloromethane, which is CHBr Cl2. Now 3 has bromon. So one only thing you can guess here is that chloroform, and chloroform is this because Br sign is there. So Br here, 3 possibilities there, but this is also 2 options are there, 3 options are there. So you have to just guesswork here. Then bromoform, which is connected with CHBrCl, and then we have bromo dichloromethane, and that is the CIV, CHBr3. Moving to the next question, again from ICT. Wireless mouse. No, so wireless mouse is working with radio waves. Optical mouse, infrared light. If you have seen in the projector, then there is in the pan there is inbuilt the mouse is there. So with that we can infrared light, we can point out the things, and with that also we can work. So that is infrared. Then LCD, it is an output device, and optical character reader is reading of car number plate. In that case, the answer is E2, BIV, D3, and option A is the answer. Next question, in which of the following steps of hydrological cycle water is purified? So answer is evaporation. In this process, it is the water is getting purified. Next in line, according to classical Indian school of logic, the argument sound is eternal because it is produced is fallacious because it is said because. So you can see there is contradiction because if something is eternal and at the same time it is being produced, then it is highly contradictory. And in that case, it is contradictory middle term. Moving to the next, which of the following correct physical? Yes, so next in line we have a question again from computer, which is ICT. And this question is quite surprising for me as well, because which of the following correct physical address of a computer? And for this, I have Googled and I get the idea that physical address of computer is something which is an hard-coded code bound into a device network interface. Now this device, how we can remember it? So it has the 48-bit address and with 6 pairs and hexadecimal digits. So here the catch for us is that it has the 6 pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here we have 6, and that's why we are getting this answer. By this, computer can identify the model, the address very itself. So it is also called MAC, which is Media Access Control, MAC as well. Next question we have is, which of the following is not a step in scientific research? This is an ending aspect of science, with the process constantly being not repeated with the decreasing refinement. Now, the first statement is problematic because scientific research is all about variability, how we can do reliable, verifiable, replicatable research. And here it is an ending aspect of sciences, not repeated with decreasing refinement. So every time there is refinement in the research. Other three options: casual observation of event and phenomena, wonder and curiosity, how, why, and what, etc., and hypothesis are true and opt for scientific research. Next, we have normative research. Now, this is something interesting. So the right answer is, of course, two. Normative research raises the issue in such a way that the conclusion is implied. So normative research, that is in research methodology, there is three type of a research. First is an empirical one, second is normative one, and third is descriptive one. So for what purpose normative research is being used? So it used for what is currently is, what ought to be. So it is more of a value driven, where we talk about perspective and also the implied conclusion, where we use this kind of research. So in philosophy, in ethics, in policy, in law, and in education, these three, where we are already aware about what the issues are there and how we can address that. So in normative research, basically we used in that format only. So with that, we have completed a set of this paper, and we covered almost 35 questions in this. So with this, you can get the idea from where you are standing, what kind of questions are appearing. So I hope this video is helpful to you, and we'll meet in the next session where I'm again going to do the question solving of paper one, because that is something which we can do for the last 15 days of our TNET exam. So yes, that's it from my side. Stay tuned for the next session, and till that, take care and bye.